my intro to Ninja Warrior was just watching bits of it on YouTube from some of like the Ninja Warrior American seasons from like, I don't know, 8 years ago, I'm going to say. And just kind of watching it and thinking that it looked awesome and that I could probably do a lot of it. And yeah, just deciding like as soon as there was word of the Aussie season kicking off, I was like, I'm going to do that. And then, yeah, luckily I got cast on it and I've been cast in every season since. And I did the last 2 seasons of the UK one, which I don't think is going to get renewed, but hopefully it will one day. But for now, Ninja Warrior UK is done, but Australian Ninja Warrior is thriving. So that's pretty sick. And yeah, man, it'd be sick to go and compete in the US one day. Like they have like USA versus the world, and other European countries do what they call a 4-nation special. So they bring a few countries together and do a few different challenges and courses and see which country comes out on top. So it'd be pretty rad to represent Australia in either America or one of the European shows. But yeah, man, just kind of, I've been pretty lucky to not have to make any big decisions between stunt work and ninja. Like things have lined up pretty well so far, and hopefully that continues to happen. Otherwise, like I probably will choose ninja over stunt work unless it was like the sickest stunt job ever that you just like couldn't say no to.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like film and TV is always going to be a thing, but Ninja Warrior will have its day. Like the bubble will burst.
And also like that build up, it's you know, it's about a year building up for this Ninja Warrior run and this competition. For stunts, you can, you know, you didn't get this job, you can get the next job or whatever. Obviously, as you say, like if it's something really super specific and you've been hired for like 3 months and it just kind of unfortunately clashed with the ninja, then you probably were like, okay, so I don't really have an option.
Yeah, it sort of depends on what it would be.
Yeah, but, I like this video. This video is very, very important, and there's a couple of reasons for it.
Over in London.
This is how he's introducing himself.
TV commercials in Melbourne.
Oh, dude, this music is horrendous, isn't it? I do kind of wonder what happens in the editing room when they're doing this. I don't know.
Oh, but this is the best.
Who's this guy? Look at... Yeah, now I know why you're bringing this up. Look at this dude I was training with one day. What a savage. He's got one elbow pad and one knee pad.
And this actually made to like Australian television, right?
Yeah, that was aired to over 1 million households.
That is me. I just smacked Mike Snow in a bollocks.
Dude.
I'm so proud. Oh, where did it go?
Hey, this move's cool. This is Kevin Bull, one of the sort of main competitors in America. Ah, you lost it.
Oh, awesome. I just, it's all about you, honey. I don't care about other performers. And that was the intro. It was so funny.
And they like go to the audio. They even kept in your laugh.
My laugh was just ridiculously like, what the hell is it? It's like...
So, falling over and getting beaten up a lot. But...
What was that? That was awesome.
That was just ridiculous.
I couldn't even do that vocal if I tried.
Did you had anyone like say, giving comments about it's like, what the hell was that?
No. I think people just kind of went,
okay. Just this weirdo comes over and kicks you in the balls. Okay.
No one's asked if my nuts are okay.
So it's UK, Australia, then also what you did in Germany, you were working on developing or just testing the Ninja Warrior run?
Doing the rigging and a lot of the resets of the obstacles. A little bit of testing, but most of the testing was for stuff that I already like competed on in Australia. There's a lot of crossover with some of the obstacles, but yeah, most of the time was just rigging and making sure that the course worked and getting it ready for the next competitor. So it's pretty long days on set doing that, but it's sick, man. Like the German competitors are pretty elite. They're super good dudes, and yeah, they'd give the Aussies a good run for their money. So nice. I hope we get like a 4-nation special kind of deal in Australia, and yeah, if that's ever going to happen, I'll definitely be chatting to the producers and trying to nudge them towards getting a German team
Did you
over.
do any other countries? So,
I rigged on Israel as well.
Oh, Israel as well.
Yeah.
And for those who struggle to understand, what does it mean rigging?
So building the course and installing the obstacles, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then during the show, there's a lot of obstacles with moving components, and yeah, they just need to be reset. So the most recent Ninja was Aussie Season 5. So I flew out of London, start of Feb, did my 2 weeks hotel quarantine, had 10 days out in the world, staying with a friend of mine, and then once production started, then I was put up in a hotel with all the other ninjas, and we that's season 3.
That's didn't come up, Season 5.
Yeah, you might need to put in a year.
Oh, okay. 2020, yeah, or 2021? No, 2020. 21. So
yeah,
you actually did it this year?
Yeah, we shot it a couple months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's recent as.
Wait, is the one where you get disqualified?
Actually, no. You know what? They didn't put it on YouTube. They're sort of doing it a bit differently. So that's why all the sort of older stuff is coming up.
Anyways, anyone who wants to look it up, Mike Snow on YouTube. This is the same video for some reason. I'm opening again and again. But yeah, Ninja Warrior stuff is insane and it's a lot of fun. And for you, is it more like, I just want to pass this challenge, I want to challenge myself? Because you train pretty much all year round to compete and...
Oh, not quite. Like, I mean, I train all year round in general, but my focuses sort of vary a bit. And like at the moment, you know, like a bit of bouldering it indirectly helps with... Well, it directly helps with Ninja Warrior, but only like one small portion of what you need for Ninja. So I'm just sort of bouldering at the moment in general just because I like it.
And it's beneficial for you, obviously, upper body
yeah,
strength.
like it helps for Ninja, but the only way to really train for Ninja is to kind of do stuff that replicates the intensity of being on the course, where you just have like no breaks and you just start pumping through obstacles, because when you get to those final stages, like it is horrendous on your cardio. When you've got to beat the clock and not be resting between obstacles. So yeah, I kind of try to save that for sort of 5 to 6 months of being out from competing, because it's just horrible to train. Like it's the worst aspect of the training is doing cardio for this. So there's no way, like I'd go insane, I'd get bored of it, and I would end up not training as well if I trained that aspect of it all year round.
Oh, here you go. I have a good question for you. So, for Ninja Warrior, what do you think? What are the best areas to train in? So you are covering free running, you're covering bouldering, cliff climbing, so some elements of gymnastics. What else do you think, and what do you think is the best combination? Because obviously, one of the greatest things is to actually go on obstacles and practice. There's some places where you can have these obstacles.
Yeah.
But the thing with Ninja Warrior, almost every time it's going to be different and original and...
Yeah, the obstacles vary a bit, and each year we get some new obstacles, but a lot of them, in some ways, are just variations of each other, and the core principles still apply between a lot of them. So pretty much, like, if you can swing on a static object and you can swing on a moving object, then you've got a lot of obstacles covered just with that. So then you need to start looking at your grip strength. Can you hang on for a certain amount of time and, you know, get back onto something without much rest and keep on hanging on? And then can you still lift yourself and pull at the end of that? And, you know, like, can you hit a mini tramp? Well, because there's always mini tramps, and they're like sort of big boy mini tramps, which the lighter people tend to struggle with. So if you can swing well and you can hold on for a long time, like, you don't have to be a gymnast, but if you were a gymnast, then you understand how to swing.
You would have an advantage, yeah.
If you're a gymnast, you can understand how to swing on static objects, and from there you can work out the moving ones pretty easily. If you're a climber, then you've probably got all the grip strength and the pulling stuff sorted, but maybe you need to learn how to move. Like Magnus Mitbo is, I think, Norwegian dude, and he's competed in American Ninja Warrior, and he's a freak of a rock climber. Like, he is insanely strong, but he has, if he wants to do some more Ninja Warrior stuff, which I think he's done that. I don't think he was particularly into it, but if he wanted to really pursue that, then he would need to work on his movement skills a little bit more, because a lache from one thing to another is kind of what ended his run in Ninja Warrior. So it's like...
And lache, that's a move, again, for gymnasts and free runners. Free runners do a lot of laches, especially if they train inside the jumping bars to bars.
Yeah, so lache is literally, I think, French for release.
Oh, okay.
So it generally means just to swing, let go, and then catch something. A lache on its own would typically be from one bar to another, but yeah, you could have lache to precision, so landing on a precise point, or lache to arm jump where you grab something. There's heaps of different variations, so just trying to sort of like mix up as many of those variations as you can so that you're used to doing weird angles and 180s and like reverse, like blind catches and mixed grip and stuff like that.
But as a base, probably the most beneficial is to do climbing, is it? Because I think a couple of years ago or a while ago there was an American guy who won and he was like this super crazy climber.
Oh, is that Colgiero? Yeah, like he was a top level climber, but he definitely put in some time and effort into learning to move well, which climbing wouldn't on its own really have taught him.
Yeah. So the variation.
You can't crush Ninja Warrior just with being awesome at one skill set. Like at some point, if you're a mad specialist, like you have to branch off a little bit so that you can at least kind of get away with some obstacles that aren't really suited to you.
Okay, I want to do a quick thing. I want to... so which one should I open your run? And I want you to comment it and tell me what you guys...
Maybe go on my Insta and go to one of the newer ones. Sort of go up the top. They're all kind of linked together. So there's interview ones there. Go further down. Yeah, so now you've got my runs.
So is it this one?
That's the Power Tower race. That one's cool. That's short. That one, I think, is the semi-finals. Yeah, you go. That semi-final video.
Semi-final. Okay, let's do that.
Definitely won. It was like being in a washing machine.
Oh God. Okay, let's go.
Have a look at how fit he is.
Oh, he's so fit.
And he's ready to go. He would have gone all the way last.
So this obstacle, those logs don't spin a whole lot. They could have been set to be more sort of free spinny, but they were kind of nice to us and didn't give us like the most rolly option. Some people really like it. It stuffs them up to actually think about what steps they're going to do where before they do it. They just kind of need to hit it and just let their feet do whatever. I'm pretty particular with which foot I start and finish with and sort of where I place everything. So just before I go, you can actually see me kind of talking to myself. I'm saying left, right, because I just wanted to make sure I did my first stride on one of those poles with my left foot because I just feel better about the placement of that, and then finishing on the left foot because it was 5 logs. So I don't know, everyone has their own sort of different little things and preferences.
Who are these two guys?
So that's Jesse on the right, who I stayed with. He's a stunty, and his housemate Sean, who I only met when I was staying with Jesse. And Sean's just electric. He's got so much energy.
Nice.
He was loving it. He was mad to have along. So this obstacle's sick, man. Double dip or a rope or something. And what ruins a lot of people's runs on the sort of big dipper obstacles is if they go 2 hands forward grip, because the bar can roll. So if you stuff up your lache, it just peels out from your hands. So a lot of us go for mixed grip, and that just steadies the bar, stops it rolling. But then it's such a like quick transition. It's not very far between one big dipper and the other. You don't really have a whole lot of time. If you like the mixed grip on the first bar, you don't really have a whole lot of time to then sort of get your hand under and find that mixed grip when you're flying to the second bar. So most of us went mixed grip into forward grip, and then just squeeze it and don't let it roll, and just kind of try to position your body so that you're always swinging down with an arch that you can sort of like kick your lower body forward with for the next thing. So yeah, that was a super fun obstacle. This obstacle is a bit naff. We've had that in like the earlier seasons. It's only really there to just kind of like slow you down and burn you out a little bit. It's not technically very hard. It's just a little bit awkward, and depending on how much you use like your ankles instead of like your calves, or how much you use your hands instead of your forearms is just going to determine how burnt out you get. So you can see I'm like really wrapping like whole forearm over, as much of my leg over. I know one dude was trying to go really fast and he just beasted it all on his arms. And as I was watching that, I was like, bro, what are you doing?
Out.
Yeah, he burnt out further on the course. He was having a super good run, but that was one decision where it's like,
Where's your mom? Is your mom right?
she was Skyping in from home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she didn't want to.
Because this run, where was it?
Shot in Sydney.
In Sydney.
Yeah, she didn't want to risk getting stuck in Sydney if there was a state closure that came out of nowhere. And just a corkscrew in the middle, and then it didn't destroy everyone's run and splash them out. A few people went in, and then they're like, all right, now we've got somewhere to go from here, and then they sort of crank up the difficulty in the next round. And yeah, that's a super fun one. I want that obstacle to keep coming back.
How does it feel when you have support from the audience? Does it help you at all when everyone's clapping and shouting and supporting, or are you so in the zone that you don't really care anymore?
Mostly so in the zone that you don't even notice them, and like they'll be super loud, and sometimes you can have people screaming advice at you, or like whether they're out in the stands or whether they're right next to you, and it just goes in one ear and out the next.
Yeah,
you don't even notice. And then other times when you actively kind of like slow down and acknowledge them, and you're like, oh, this is sick. And obviously you notice them a lot when you go out and go to the start platform and everyone's going wild and you can hear the commentators talking, and that's like, it's kind of cool, but it's also the worst thing about the whole experience is just standing at the start line for what feels like 10 minutes when it might be 30 seconds or 2 minutes, not knowing when you're going to go.
That's sick, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
here you go.
hey.
Fantastic, well done.